Okay, update of a different kind about my BMW N57 engine. You can see it's all apart. So why is that? It had some blow-by on cylinder number 4. It started out with a code for cylinder balance, lack of contribution from cylinder 4. I also noticed some increased oil consumption over the last interval, over the last 5,000 miles. Normally, it doesn't need any oil between oil changes, or just maybe 1 quart. This time, it needed 2 quarts between the oil change. But yeah, then it came up with this code. The check engine light came on, and I also opened the oil filler neck, and I saw basically excessive blow-by. Particularly, you could see it puffing out from one cylinder. So based on that, I did a bore scope inspection of cylinder 4 and 3 for comparison. I couldn't see anything wrong. The cylinders all looked fine. So I decided to take it apart. So yeah, first of all, maybe what's interesting is all the crank and all the bearings seem to be fine. Obviously, the last, or maybe you don't know this, but this engine had a spun rod bearing in cylinder 5. So in this one here, 55,000 miles ago. The crankshaft was damaged at that point. I had to get a new crankshaft. So there's a new BMW crankshaft, or it was new like 2 years ago. And I replaced all the bearing shells, obviously. And then you may have followed some of my previous videos where I cut open all the oil filters. And we saw some metal shavings in there, and I was kind of worried that something would be breaking here again, but this was all looking fine. Also, all the bearings, all the rod bearings, they're all clean. Same on the cylinder side there. The main bearings have some wear on them, but from what I understand, it's probably in the normal range. So bearing 1 and 7 are still in. I still have to take the timing gear part. But this is 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. So definitely nothing that would show any copper yet, at least. So I'm a little bit confused where the shavings that we saw in the oil filters, where they're coming from. Obviously some material is missing here, but it doesn't look to me like it could have come off in large pieces. So anyway, on to the main damage. So, I mean, looking at all of this, there didn't really seem to be an obvious reason for it. Let me actually show you the cylinders. Okay, so these are cylinders. So, I mean, the main one that's interesting is number 4. So there's really no obvious damage in the cylinder itself. In fact, the hone looks, I'd say, nearly perfect, particularly given that there are in total now 190,000 miles on this engine. So I was a little bit confused for a while because the cylinder looks good, there was no bearing damage, and then if we take piston 4, which is this one here, there's also nothing obviously wrong with it. All the rings move freely. You can see this here. They weren't stuck. I don't know what this residue there is, but it's not otherwise broken. So kind of for me looked like, well, I could just put it back together, but obviously I already knew something was wrong. So I looked a bit harder, and let me show you what I found. So upon closer inspection, I looked at the liners here. So this is an aluminum block, and there's steel liners in there. So if you look closely, you can see there that there's an insert in there. So this part here, the inner side is steel to give it a harder surface, and then the rest of aluminum. And so these always should be flush with the deck, so there shouldn't be any gap either way. It should be exactly the same height as the rest of the deck. which is the case for all of these except for number 4. So there's number 4 here. Maybe if I put a light on there, so you can see this, but there's a small gap there, so I can kind of put my fingernail in there. It grabs there. I measured it with a caliper. It's around 0.25 millimeters. I think it would be like in hundredths of an inch if you look at it that way. So yeah, this liner has sunk in. So that's the first thing I saw visually. Then I took a bore gauge and measured all of them for roundness. I haven't done absolute measurements yet, but at least roundness. All the other cylinders, so 1, 2, 3, 5, 6, are within 0.02 millimeters round. Most of them actually are within 0.01. However, number 4 is 0.11 out of round. So I think it was that this distance here is longer than this, if I'm not mistaken. I'll do a separate thing about that. But yeah, so it's significantly oval shaped. I think it's significantly out of spec. So yeah, I mean, basically probably as a default, this block is kind of condemned now. It's done. I will be going to a local machine shop here, see if they feel comfortable replacing that liner, but I'm also trying just to get a new block. Yeah, I mean, otherwise the engine is, the vehicle is still doing fine. So, as you probably know, I'm in the US, so I won't be able to easily get a replacement, or I can't buy a newer diesel vehicle here, at least not from BMW. They stopped selling them in 2018. So I'll be rebuilding this, probably with a new block, but we'll see. So yeah, let me know what you think about this in the comments. Do you think I should attempt a repair here with this liner, or whether I should get a new block or do something else? Thanks for watching.